Could Jalen Williams be the new NBA's king of the fourth quarter, and could he possibly also be an NBA superstar hiding in plain sight? In fourth quarters January 2024, Dub has averaged 9.5 minutes per quarter, 7.7 points, 1.4 assists, and 1.1 rebounds. If you factor those numbers out to Pro 36, Dub would be averaging 29 points per game, 5.3 assists, 4.2 rebounds, 1.5 steals, and 0.7 blocks. There are only actually 4 players in the entire NBA averaging 29, 5, and 4 in 23-24, and those players are Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. To be fair, not many players in the NBA are playing 36 minutes anymore. Only one of those players that I mentioned earlier is playing 36. So if we factored those numbers down to maybe a per 34, he would be averaging 25, 5, and 4. And the only guys to do that are Giannis, Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox, Donovan Mitchell, Luka, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, John Morant, and Anthony Edwards. So could Jalen Williams be a star hiding in plain sight that is starting to shine in the final quarters of 2024? Could he get to the level of those guys who his numbers say he's near in those per 36 or per 34 numbers? Before we get into what Dub has been doing this month to be so productive when it matters most, it's important that we get some context around this month and the Thunder's stifling schedule to start 2024. The NBA schedule makers didn't do the Thunder any favors starting out their 2024, where they had 5 back-to-backs this month, most for any team in the NBA this season, 11 road games, the most any team will have in a single month this season, and then 17 games total, the max number of games that you can even have during a single month. Needless to say, January of 2024 was no cakewalk for Dub or the Thunder, which makes it all the more impressive of how well he played this month, along with how the Thunder throughout January were able to stay towards the top of the Western Conference despite a tough schedule. Coming out of college, JDub projected as a pretty good shooter from 3. He shot 35.6% from 3 last year, but after the All-Star break, shot up to 43%. Dub has mentioned the injury that he suffered last year against the Wolves severely impacted his vision and peripheral for months during his rookie season, and now that he's fully recovered, we're seeing maybe the type of deep ball threat he was going to be all along. He is obviously shooting an unsustainable 66% from 3 in January fourth quarters, but just to take the full scale of the season, he's shooting 45.2% from deep, which is better than elite shooters like Karl Anthony Towns, Stephen Curry, Tyler Hero, Paul George, and even Dub's sharp shooting teammate Isaiah Joe. As you can see in the film, Dub is not just taking easy catch and shoot threes or saving his percentages by being very selective with his shots. He's taken a variety. He's taken step backs, he's taken side steps, he's taking contested ones, he's taking it off the catch, he's taking it off movement. He's doing it in so many different ways, which makes it all the more impressive. If he is able to keep up this current average of 45.2% from 3, that'll give him a top 100 3-point percentage shooting season in NBA history. For reference, this pace he has shot at for the season would be a higher percentage-wise than any Klay Thompson season ever. My only complaint with his 3-point shooting is that he doesn't shoot enough. Currently, he only shoots 3.2 attempts per game, which is just not enough for a guy who's shooting at his percentages. Even if he drops down to 43, 42%, but it's on 6 attempts, I think it's worth the trade-off. For reference, here's sort of the company he joins in terms of attempts per game, guys shooting within half an attempt per game of him. You've got guys like Duop Reith, Herb Jones, THT, Pascal Siakam, Cole Anthony, Zach Collins, Jeremy Sohan, Josh Giddey, DeMar DeRozan, and Javon Carter. Not exactly the most elite shooters, and that's not exactly a shot at them. It's more so just more and more evidence of why Dub needs to take more as a guy who is shooting an elite percentage. Even while shooting at those crazy percentages, Williams' favorite place on the floor to operate in fourth quarters and crunch time happened to be in the mid-range. The mid-range might be disappearing for role players, but it is still alive for stars and superstars who thrive in that operating area, such as Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid, and others are still killing it in the mid-range. And a prime example of this idea of stars taking shots in the mid-range is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who has become one of the most dangerous, prolific, and efficient scorers in the league, mostly eating off the in-between areas of the floor in Oklahoma City. These two guys most certainly are two completely different players, but in the mid-range you can really see a lot of inspiration and a lot of the same traits from Williams that you would see in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I asked Shai last week about mentoring Dub, taking him under his wing, and what he's seen from him so far in 2 years as being his teammate.
Dub is, first and foremost, he wants to be great. So it makes it easy to help him. He's going through a lot of things that I've gone through. Young rising star in the NBA, different things thrown at him. And above all, me and him are just really close friends and want to see each other do so well. That it doesn't feel like this vet. It just feels like me and my homie are going through this NBA basketball life together and trying to figure it out. So the type of kid he is and who he wants to be makes it easy for him.
It's been a slow build this season, but more and more consistently you're seeing that JDub might have found his comfort zone in the mid-range. He's very comfortable going right or left, but he was especially dangerous going to his left, as you can see on a couple of these game winners and clutch time shots that he hit against the Portland Trailblazers. But does the King of the Fourth have the clutch gene? That's a question I've been asking. And what exactly is a clutch gene? Is that a real thing? I asked Dub about that a few weeks ago after the Portland game. How much of it is just a genetic thing, how much it's work, and just if you're born with it or without it.
Just speaking from experience, being able to kind of get to that spot is something, like I said, that I work on a lot. So I think when you figure out what you want to do, I feel like that makes you more comfortable. So I don't know if it's a clutch gene or stuff like that, but I just think when you're able to put yourself in those positions, you know, on the off season and stuff like that, I think it gives you a better chance to make them down the stretch.
We've talked about the 3-ball and the mid-range for JDub, but it's not just scoring. He's also taken a big leap as a facilitator. Dub, alongside Chet Holmgren, have developed somewhat of a West Coast Conference connection in the pick and roll in the two-man game. Chet might not be the most dynamic screen setter, but he already, as a rookie, is an extremely versatile pick and pop threat and roller to pair with JDub. In more recent months, Dub and Holmgren have been paired together, staggered in units to run the show when Shea is on the bench, and have shown chemistry operating in the two-man game together. And it's not just in the pick and roll, their chemistry extends all over the floor, where you can see in this play versus the Heat, where it's just a smart back cut from Chet, and it's an easy layup after a dime from Dub. But Chet isn't the only one who benefits from Dub's unselfishness. Despite already proving to have major scoring chops, Dub is an extremely willing passer who makes fast decisions with the ball. He's extremely good in transition when he can leverage his threat as a downhill driver to then kick the ball out or drop it off to his teammates for easy looks. He rifles high-speed passes all over the floor with precision, like on this high-level skip pass across the floor that hits Wiggins on the dot for a wide-open 3. He also has some flair to his passing, with a couple of no-looks he'll throw in there and look-off passes to freeze the defenses just enough to get his teammates an easier look. But just like any player, it isn't all perfect, even in this dominant month for Dub. There are still things he could still work on to get even better. There are times he can get a little overzealous with his handle and where he can look a bit loose at times and forces some heat checks. None of these are just massive thorns in his hide, mostly just nitpicking. Could he be a little bit better with these things? Yes. Is this also just the price of doing business with guys who make high-level passes and tough shots? Also yes. For every incredibly tough shot he does make that looks crazy, there will still be a fair share that he misses. All that matters right now is he's making more than he's missing, and if he continued to do that at a consistent level, I have no problems with that at all. In conclusion, so far all that JDub has done in his career is continue to subvert expectations, outperform what is predicted of him, and grow his game. Jalen Williams has an extremely bright future and could potentially grow into a star or even a superstar in the league. But to anyone who says they know what will happen, I say,
you know nothing.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to let me know what you want more of from this channel. And comment below with any video suggestions you have, ideas, or your thoughts on how I can get better at this. Till next time, thanks for watching.